The Armadillo's Armored Dill Hole.
Today, Monday, 29th, 2016. Happy Leap here. Billy Bellmont's here. Or The Problem with Everything. Hey, everybody. I'm Holiday Rob, and this is...
I am Lowki Sapfoot.
Welcome to our 51st episode. That means we've almost been doing this consistently for a year. I mean, I actually think we missed a week in there somewhere, so we probably have been doing this for a year.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's not sane. It's kind of sane.
It's kept our sanity, I bet.
Maybe. It's middle of the road, I'd call it.
It was like a therapy session that began after two ne'er-do-well artists decided to continue podcasting after having podcasted a podcast before.
Compelling stuff. Really hooking them early on this episode.
He podcasted a podcast like he'd never did a podcast before. Yeah, so that was a year ago. Exciting shit. We've had some fun people on the show. Not really any not so fun, but maybe less than a lot of fun.
You're really knocking it out of the park with the descriptions tonight in this intro. It's really good. It's really, really good.
Somebody's sleeping.
It's a befitting way to start our second half century of... I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Nonsense, yeah. No, you were there.
Yeah, well, it's not a century. It's what's the word for 100 podcasts?
Yeah.
A centocast.
Centocast, the centopod.
The second half centocast. Centopod.
But anyway, thanks for Billy for being on tonight. You'll hear him coming up or today.
Yeah. He's like some kind of musician. We're going to play some songs by him.
He also does a podcast himself and does just different events around town.
This guy thinks he's some kind of funny man or something. This guy with his...
This guy.
We should have probably written down what he's doing. He's got a thing at Distillery 365, right? That's like a weekly deal.
Wednesday night, Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah.
Good time, good distillery down on Stamford and Kendall area.
And you can check out his podcast, right? Which is called
10drinkminimum.com.
10drinkminimum.com.
We're going to play some music from his bands, Bellmont and the Bellmont.
Yes.
Which he either performs under that or Billy Bellmont.
I was very disappointed to learn. I actually did a lot to prepare for this interview. I researched Dracula's castle, whips, candles, holy water, that kind of
thing. In that order, by the way.
Yeah, all that stuff. I Googled all that shit and was disappointed to find that Billy actually has no relation to Simon Bellmont or the Bellmont vampire fighting family. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
well,
so...
These are the things that happen with adulthood. So if you like our podcast and it is hilarious, why the fuck don't you? You can check us out on iTunes, The Problem with Everything. We're also on SoundCloud, Podomatic, and I think that's the only place you can really listen to it. But subscribe on iTunes.
Yeah, and if you don't like our podcast, go to mosteffectivewaystokillmyself.com and fucking kill yourself, because our podcast is cool, and fuck you if you don't like it.
It is the greatest thing that any damn there man ever made into existence.
Yeah, it's really good, so fuck you guys.
You can follow Billy Bellmont on Twitter. What was his...
Let me look it up. Let me see what I got here. Sabes Cray, that is spelled SAWBESS_CREI. Follow him on the Twitter. He comes with the quips, comes with the jokes, the jokey jokes and the laughs.
40 characters of hilarity.
Yeah.
If you want to follow me, Holiday Rob, it is, what would you guess? At Holiday Rob, all one word, yeah.
I was going to guess Kiss Army. It's not Kiss Army?
No, it would have been Clit Army, but...
Weird, that's the second time you'll also hear me mention Kiss later in this episode. Why am I thinking about Kiss? Kiss sucks. Fuck Kiss.
They're amazing.
As you can hear, my voice is still a little even more nasally than normal.
Yeah.
Got trying to get over the cold. One time I smashed my face against a chair in a movie theater and it smushed one of my nostrils. Now it takes me forever whenever there's some stuffage for it to drain. Yeah.
Damn.
Maybe I'll try some Everclear. That might help.
Stupid body.
Snort some Everclear. Burn that shit out. Anyway, you can follow me on Twitter for all kinds of delightful quips about my snot and some tongue twisters like the ones you hear at the beginning of each episode. And my Twitter is...
Collect them all.
At sapfoot. So follow me. Follow me. Hear me now. Follow me.
We did talk a bit about video games, some Super Mario Brothers. Goodness, NES. We do game. We do game.
Man, do. It's our duty.
Where can the nice people find you?
You'll find me sucking at Smash Bros. You'll find me sucking at all kinds of stuff. But if you want to find me on Nintendo, you can find me there. I'm playing Smash Brothers and a few other things. Playing Mario Maker here and there. Been playing through the old school Zelda series, as you'll hear me mention. Legend of Zelda 2 is a bitch, dude.
Yeah,
it's so
hard.
fucking hard. Got fucking cougars with boomerangs, and I'm talking like mountain lions, anthropomorphic mountain lion cougars.
Not like Australian 50-year-old women on the prowl.
Right. You got me. I hate that you have to clarify what you mean by cougar in 2016. Right? It's annoying. Anyway, if you want to follow me on the Nintendo network or whatever the fuck.
Sure, it wasn't a Jaguar?
Jaguar.
It was a Jaguar.
If you want to follow me or whatever it's called, be my friend on Nintendo. It's Lowki Sapfoot with a W in the middle of Lowki. No space. And same name on Xbox One. I can't fucking talk. I'm so tired. Can you tell how tired I am?
It sounds like
I keep going.
The medicine.
Yeah, I
Blahs.
feel. I just want to sleep. Anyway, you can get at me on Xbox One.
When I'm not sleeping.
I gotta do this intro to this podcast. Some bullshit. I don't know. Xbox One, Lowki Sapfoot, Lowki Sapfoot. Where can they find you? PlayStation Network?
PlayStation Network, yes. I play a PlayStation 3 because fuck the future. I play Battlefield 3. You can find me as holiday_sale on the PSN Network. I'm really only playing Eve's Dust 514, which had an outage all day today.
Oh my god, what did you do?
Everything else that I ever had to do.
You got some stuff done today, huh?
Yeah, things were happening and popping and bopping and bipping and bopping. But yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, so check us out on Facebook. We're also The Problem with Everything. It's all one long, spaceless void of amazingness. I'm going back and forth on this, but
The Problem with Everything.
check us out. We are shooting to just have guests every week. It's been good. We've had, 3/7 of a band on here.
Yeah.
And tonight we just had the
The what?
Unsurmountable Billy Bellmont. I don't know if that's the word.
Meaning you can't climb him?
Right, yes.
You can't.
You can't.
You cannot stand upon the peak.
You cannot surpass him in his love of the music scene, doing music and being around.
I just
As well as
pictured
climbing.
in my head an adorable little cartoon of us climbing his shoulders, like little miniature versions of us climbing on his shoulders.
Who's wearing the devil outfit? Who's wearing the angel? That's the real
That's
question.
a good question. We probably both have the devil.
Switch them out every once in a while. Yeah, it's like devil white and then the regular devil.
Right.
Just depending on the day, really. Yeah, so here we go. I guess we're going to start it out. We're going to start out with a Bellama song.
Yeah.
From our guest, Billy Bellama.
What's it called?
It is called Lay Beside.
All right.
Enjoy.
We'll see you in a couple minutes.
You are still up, why don't you lay beside me? Oh, stay a little longer. Blow it up, why don't you leave that gray behind? The wheels of your blurry machine, I'm in the know. It's hard to S-A-Y-N-O. We're going back, we ain't ever coming back. Forget the cost to what I've paid off. What were the odds that all remembered the rules? We thought someday we'll be lost. Forget the cost to what I've paid off. What were the odds that all remembered the rules? We thought one day, someday we'll be lost, we'll be lost, we'll be lost. Still up, why don't you lay beside me? Oh, stay a little longer. Blow it up, why don't you leave that gray behind? The wheels of your blurry machine, I'm in the know. It's hard to S-A-Y-N-O. We're going back, we ain't ever coming back. Forget the cost to what I've paid off. What were the odds that all remembered the rules? We thought one day, someday we'll be lost. Forget the cost to what I've paid off. What were the odds that all remembered the rules? We thought one day, someday we'll be lost, we'll be lost, we'll be lost.
Bring you up to the box. Show you around, kid.
All right.
Check.
Welcome to
Chickity. What?
Everything.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
Will be your host, Bill Bellmont. Some bourbon. Today we have Billy Bellmont in the studio. The non-group works of transgender Native American dance music.
That's far out, man. What's that sound like?
I would guess life-changing.
What is it that makes it transgender music?
Oh shit, are we on? Are we live yet?
It's happening.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, we're going out to the whole world live right now.
No, we're not.
Shit.
He can't hold it that long. He looks like he's ready to explode with excitement.
No, I mean I'm recording.
Oh, you're
So we started already.
That's
I
happening.
mean, sure. Yeah,
Or we can do it now.
we could like
3, 2, and then you don't say the one.
right.
Yeah,
That's
no.
super pro. Nice. So we're professionals here. We got Billy Bellmont here today.
Hey guys.
Gentleman of band renown.
So I thought that you had some relation to the vampire fighting Belmonts. The spelling is different.
It is.
So I'm assuming there's no relation.
There's no relation. In fact, it's traditionally spelled with one L with anyone who's named Belmont. The
Right.
only time The reason I chose the 2 L's is because if you put there's tons of there's like another Billy Bellmont who's a DJ in New York. And so it's put 2 L's on mine, and so if you Google Billy Bellmont with 2 L's, I'll come up, not the other guy.
Nice.
Sweet.
It's usually just like based on like what will show up on Google. Like I have a band called Bellmont.
Yeah.
And it's traditionally spelled with the A in the middle instead of an E. So I put an E in it, and so now I'm the first thing that comes up.
Boom.
It's all about how to.
Are you worried that people won't know how to spell it though when they try to spell it and then it's spelled wrong?
That happens all the time. Like even I see it on flyers, and it's just 1 L or like Billy with an IE at the end. It's like, oh great, whatever. It's cool. Pissing me off.
You're right. I am not Michael Jackson Silver.
So just to be clear, you don't know anything about fighting vampires?
Oh no!
All the questions I have prepared are
Simon Belmont. No. I'm familiar with the game, and I get asked that, from time to time. Like, no, sorry, man. Castlevania.
It's a good game.
That's what I hear.
It's a good game.
It's hard.
It is.
But it's fair.
Difficult.
You know what? That shit is hard. Because if you look at just like early like NES games that were slide screen, like 2D, those were always hard.
They were very hard.
Dude, I've been playing The Legend of Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, which is kind of a dumb title when you say it all at once, out loud. But that shit is hard as fuck, and it's side-scrolling Zelda.
Yeah, that's
it's
weird.
So weird.
I don't know if I can handle that.
Yeah.
Anyway. I mean, it's as cool as they are. I mean, you're kind of limited to like, okay, so I'm this tall, and so you kind of have to dodge shit. Whereas, if you're into like the whole 3D things, it's simpler. And
you can pivot, move.
I find though in a lot of ways the 3D, like all the shooter games, are a lot more monotonously similar than side scrollers ever were. I feel like they were a little more creative back then because the games sucked, so they had to make them good. Yeah.
This one's like your favorite cola. You just, like a first-person shooter, you just pick your favorite cola and then you meet up with other people who like to drink the same cola online.
I imagine there would be like that same like enthusiast who because the first really good like first-person shooter was GoldenEye. It's like we're never going to actually have to worry about anything because we found the perfect game.
Right.
And it's the same way like I am, especially with beer. If I find something that I like, and it's like, well, you need to try this, like, no, I already found it. I mean, it's And I'm the same way with the Marble Brewery. I only have one beer, and it's the Marble Red. It's like, well, have you tried this one? No.
I don't need to. This one's great. Why take a chance?
It's like this is the same argument. It's like, no, I like Outback. No, but have you tried the steakhouse? No, I know what's good. I'm sorry.
I know what I like. I know what I'm into.
So that's kind of my mentality when it comes to stuff like that. That's all I have to say.
I'm kind of like that too. I like to get to where I'm a regular, like at whatever restaurant, whatever lunch spot I come in, and they already know what I'm getting. When I go into Gecko's, they know my drink,
your shoe size.
Yeah,
I like Gecko's. I'm in Burkenio, and I'm a downtown person. And what that means is, like, I'm accustomed to where I am. I'm comfortable in my, going on what we're talking about, I'm comfortable in my little bubble. So, like, when you say, like, Gecko's, that's uphill. That's kind of out of town.
Well, I'm talking about the other one even, the one on Academy.
Oh, really?
So I'm talking, like, Outlander Gecko's.
Holy shit, like a cat. Yeah, that's like north. Holy shit.
That's away game Gecko's for sure.
It's out there, Gecko's.
So that's like another country.
Right.
For me.
Heights Gecko's.
So how long have you been in Albuquerque?
I moved here 11 years ago, so 2005.
Dang.
And it's fun. I love it here. I've had more than one opportunity to move. It's like, are we doing this? It's like, nah, I like it here though. And of course, if you go to someplace else, I don't know. I always feel that it's going to be more expensive because generally it's going to be unless you move to like Silver City or some shit.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you want to say like, okay, all the cool spots like Austin, Denver, like the Pacific Northwest, they're all going to be stupid expensive. And I live comfortably. I go out. I have a great social life, and
What's that like? Is that fun?
He does have that. So speaking of your social life, but music, definitely you've like found a place in music.
Oh yeah. I think that's probably the majority of like my social life is either going to shows or playing in front of people.
Can you give us the list of like maybe like Albuquerque bands first that you've been in or been a part of, and then any you want to mention?
Oh, okay. When I first moved here, I started in a band called the Bellmont. Before that, I'd been in other bands, but the Bellmont moved here, thinking that because I moved here from Portales, New Mexico, which is a super super small town in eastern New Mexico. Moved here thinking like, well, it's Albuquerque. All the cool bands are there. It's like 2005, I think. Like the Shins had just left, and like all these like cool bands like Go Motor
They had just begun their program of disavowing.
Yeah, and so like O'Ranger was really big. And
We're from Portland.
We're gonna move to Albuquerque and play with all these cool bands. We move here and they all fucking either quit or moved away.
I remember O'Ranger.
Yeah, they were good.
So we were big fans of them. There was like FOMA back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, oh man, those bands are amazing. We're gonna go up and be around them, but then they ended up just breaking up. So that we were just left here playing, fuck, what do we do?
Playing dick in the hand, as they say.
No, we actually got our fair amount of shows. Like I was playing piano for this band called Weapons of Mass Destruction for a bit. And,
That's an amazing sentence.
and then, you tour a bit, and, you're in your 20s. What else are you going to do? Like, get a job? Get a real job? Fuck that.
Yeah, that's the worst.
I'm going to play shows and, like, drink beer. And this is before craft beer, so you would just get, like, Miller High Lifes for, like, $2.
Right.
Now they're, like, $3.50.
Do you remember when Burt's would do like 75-cent?
DBR.
Mystery beer. Didn't they have mystery
They
beer
had like
there?
a $2 or $1 mystery beer.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Those were the days. And then when we first moved here, Burt's was kind of like my spot. Kind of, I don't know, got away from me in the last few. But anyway, those were the times, and this is before like craft beer. So you go in with like $10 and you leave pretty buzzed.
The days of yore before craft beer.
But yeah, so it was Weapons of Mass Destruction after that. I started a band called Bellmont in 2007, which is just songs that I had written that were poppy. I had traditionally because Bellmont was, for the most part, a prog rock metal band at that point.
Yeah.
Of course, we've done other stuff since then, and then Weapons of Mass Destruction was kind of like Coldplay, pretty much. It's like the Albuquerque Coldplay.
Everything you say about this band surprises me. You played piano for them. When I think Weapons of Mass Destruction, my mind goes in more of a fortissimo direction.
Yeah.
Typically speaking.
No, we were like, we tried to be like Coldplay. And then Bellamo was just, songs I'd written on acoustic guitar that I wanted to get out. And that turned out to be the band that lasted the longest. It's still going to this day. And then of course you kind of get an itch to do other projects, other styles of music. I do a band called Hounslow, which is pretty much just stoner metal. When I say stoner, it's like Black Sabbath-y, riff heavy,
Good times,
good stuff. And then I want because all the bands I've been in, I'm the guy who ends up singing, which I don't want to be most of the time. Sometimes I just want to sit there and riff and look cool. Not worrying about having to sing because if I look at video of me singing, I look really weird. I look really weird in a way that I'm a big guy. I look like I'm a bald guy, and I don't know. Just to me, I look like a baby. And the thing is, and to see me sing on video, it's aesthetically unpleasing to me. And I would say that. I would want somebody else to sing so I can just kind of chill out and riff out. And then the other thing too is when I sing, I don't generally sound like what people think I sound like. I kind of have a soft girl voice. And when I say girl voice, it's high pitched and it's a very, very breathy, sweet melodic type stuff. And I don't generally.
That sounds sexy, dude.
It is beautiful.
Yeah, but it's a pretty voice, and I do enjoy it. It's just that when I play, if I want to be in a stoner metal band, I don't want my I don't want that.
Yeah, I
kind of
can
voice.
see that.
You're like, I must be pretty high.
Oh no, it's one of those things where I wouldn't mind another band doing something
Yeah.
like that. It's like, okay, that's cool and original, like sweet vocals over, riff heavy blues crunch whatever.
Just put some delay on it.
Yeah,
Just make it all echoey, man.
But I really hate the idea of just watching myself play because I don't know. I wouldn't want to see like a big, like, Asian looking dude, like Hawaiian looking dude. I would be like, what the fuck's this guy doing? I would rather have like a really hot babe like screeching into the mic and being super charismatic, and I'd be like, that's the band I want to see.
Look, we'd all like to be hot babes, but
We do what we can.
we gotta work with what we got sometimes.
Play the hand you're dealt, as they say.
Yeah, no, it's.
I would say like if I were to be the lead singer of a band, I would rather be like maybe like the Gorillaz, and like not have to show myself, or at least like be like Daft Punk of kind of a
Right.
metal
Oh,
band.
that would be
I
fun.
was gonna say like a Kiss or a Slipknot direction.
Yeah.
Or what about like Buckethead or something?
Yeah, Buckethead. He does that shit.
So yeah, I would rather people pay attention to music and not worry about what I look. Because the thing is, I don't dress up for shows. I'm not one to like have a wardrobe. I'm
Yeah.
not one to like fancy myself up for the pleasure of watching me be play. I would probably wear this to a show.
Yeah.
Is what I'm wearing. I'm wearing like a hoodie and like a plaid shirt.
But he's wearing that shit well. You can't see him on the podcast.
Rocking that
He's
shit
rocking
for
the hell
sure.
out of that shit. They're like, I'll see this guy in a band. You're like, okay, so let's just say if you were in a record store situation, like you'd be the guy who I'd be like, he knows his fucking music. I'm gonna go talk to him. So if I see a guy like that playing guitar in a band, I'm like, I might want to actually listen to this shit.
Oh yeah. So there you go.
You definitely got your rock and roll aura
Yeah.
through wardrobe.
And like I was a lead singer for a band like in my early 20s called Super Strings for Super Friends, and that shit was tight because I get to jump around because that was back in the day, like at the drive.
So you're saying just a singer as in no guitar, no keyboard,
I had long hair, and like at the drive-in was big. And
rock. The glory days.
butt crack was showing, jumping around, shit like that. That was fun. I didn't give a fuck back then, but now I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
Don't look at me. Oh my god, delete it.
Delete it.
Take down.
You're one of those girls, I see.
Yeah. It's like, oh my god, you posted that picture of me. Take it off right away. Fucking delete it, Kelsey. I'm not fucking kidding.
So this is the transgender part of the native hoop music. I see. Okay. It's coming together.
It's coming together.
Next up is a song about heroin, maybe. It's called Hide Your Tracks by the Bellmont.
I bet not. It could also be about hunting.
Yeah.
Somebody's hunting you.
Could be about stalking someone. Could be about super fans.
Yeah, oh god. What you talking about?
Alright, this is the Bellmont. Hide your tracks, motherfucker.
So, what got you into music? I mean, what got you picking up a guitar? I mean, listening to music can get you into music, but I mean, what was that extra step that led to your downfall?
I mean, of course, you just kind of think it's cool to play guitar. You kind of see people doing it. It's like, that's cool. I would like to do that. And me being probably like 17, I picked up a guitar, or I didn't have instruments of my own, so I would just kind of hang out with the punk kids and have shitty, like a Ibanez, whatever. And I would get to learn power chords. And ultimately, what made me want to like be in a band and like start writing music was, I was like 18, 19, and it was just, it was chicks. And
that would have been my guess.
That's pretty much how any teenager looks at it.
That's really any endeavor anyone's ever undertaken in the history of the world. I mean, if you boil it down, 9 times out of 10, there's going to be...
Yeah. And so you see like guys, who do well for themselves, being attractive and all. And I found out the easiest thing for me, being like the chubby kid, was to play guitar and be in a band. And it worked out, I guess, in my favor at that time a few times. Well, then again, let's say if I wasn't in a band, I would not have get laid at all. It was just, wasn't a thing. I was awkward.
I found it helped, yeah.
Yeah, it does help.
Definitely does, yes.
It helps when you sing pretty songs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
and then ultimately,
that's a heart melter.
I'll say this: like when I was in high school, like I'd be kind of a metalhead kid sometimes. I had long hair, like you go around and you had like, an Iron Maiden shirt, and then
you were dangerous.
And then then you have your punk phase. Like a Minor Threat, still had the long hair, like a denim jacket. I wore like a fedora with a bunch of pins in it, and just like to cut off like jorts and whatever boots were available. It was not attractive at all. Don't give me wrong. And so you look at the genres of like music that gets the most babes, and that's when I turned to indie rock. It's like, oh my god, like this girl's really in the Modest Mouse. I'm gonna put music like that. Because if you start a band and you're playing like fast punk rock, of course the dudes are in it, they're moshing and but then at the end of the day, like, where's the babes?
There's something to be said though for the kind of girl that goes for danger.
You know what the thing is? They're wrong. There are those girls.
It's a special breed,
but they have their pick of like any dude in the scene, like who they were like, oh my god, that's the dangerous girl, or that's the
right.
She's the rebel, and she's always attractive, and she's always like she's.
There's a lot more volume in some of the more contemporary adult genres.
so if I write songs like whatever Death Cab for Cutie, like there is going to be like at least like a 50-50 like guy girl ratio at the shows.
Yeah,
and so that ups your ups your game, I guess, or levels the playing field in that way. So that's ultimately why I started writing like. I back in the day we call them simp songs.
Yeah.
just write love indie ballads, and they worked out. I got married as a result of one of them.
Nice.
But then so it's not even like you're looking at a 4-year stint. It's like, oh yeah, Billy, did well for the cheerleader he got. And of course at that time, like, I was pretty awkward. I mean, like, I would say at the most I was just like a speech nerd or a debate nerd.
At the most. Wow.
But just being on stage and trying to think of like witty things to say. And in my opinion, like, if you can get a girl to laugh, and you can probably get her to like marry you. All kinds of. That's
all kinds of stuff.
You can like be a drug mule. Yes. How many of these can you swallow?
You tuck her into like a 5-some, just make her laugh.
A 5-some.
Just me in my hand.
So that answered your question. It was the babes. Got me into like really pursuing.
It all boils down to the puss.
Pursuing just,
All right.
Honestly, you ask anybody in there if that's not like at least in the answer somewhere. Also,
Liars. They're liars.
But then again, like, there's people who have their own, so trying to make some money. Or, maybe it's just about the art, too. But maybe I think that argument comes in later on
when you think about the art. When you're like, oh shit, I'm doing art. I'm participating in it.
I should probably make it not suck.
Yeah.
All right, what doesn't suck? What should I do?
Like 17, 18-year-old, it was for the babes.
But I mean, with that in mind, you could have been a roadie-ish.
That's true.
See, those kind of hanger-oners, like, I don't know. I don't think we ever had any weird hanger-oners necessarily, but like some
we did.
We did.
Well, not consistent ones.
Yeah.
We had moments.
We had stint.
We had one night stands with obsession, so to speak. Here and there, somebody would follow one of us around for a night or something weird. But, yeah.
But not like a week-long
Luckily, yeah, it didn't last.
Yeah. But yeah, I've known some bands. In fact, some of those bands on that poster back there, I've known some of those bands that might have had like weird fan obsessions.
Super fans.
Yeah, man. It was weird
in
too.
a bad way.
Yeah. Trying to fight with members who are dating and things like that. Things of this nature.
It's like too small of a town because there's no anonymity, or not, that's the wrong word, but there's not enough people to retreat.
Into it.
Oh, yeah.
You can always be found. There's only 5 places to play shows at, so
Right.
the same people are going to show up. Like, there's no...
Like kind of safe.
Right.
Or else then you're standing in a room full of people you've disappointed in many different ways.
Yeah.
I don't know that personally. I'm just saying it's a possibility. It can happen. You never know.
Right. Me either.
So,
Wink.
So now, have you kind of gone on to are you doing stand-up, like comedy? What do you
No, I talk about it all the time. I would say just, I don't know, I was part of this, not part of it, but I was really into this kind of like, small quip humor, kind of like Mitch Hedberg type style. Like,
yeah.
I love that shit. And the thing is, I really love Twitter, and I'm a big fan of like what we call weird Twitter. It's just like just bullshit and weird 140 character things that just like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Twitter would have been perfect for Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he would have destroyed it. I mean, in a good way.
But I always talk about doing stand-up comedy. And the thing is, like, I go to open mics a bunch, and then there's a lot of times like, oh my god, this is not funny.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And it's like, what if I'm that bad when I do it?
See, when I'm up there and it's happening, then I'm like, it's me.
I don't know. So I don't know. I haven't gone to like an official, not even official, just kind of like a showcase of like other comedians that maybe like, okay, so you're good, come on my show, or you're funny this way. You know, let's make a little showcase or something. I've always gone to open mics.
Yeah.
And so the person's like, yeah, it's very timid, and sometimes you just feel so bad. It's like, oh gosh,
Yeah, painful.
it's very painful.
Painful to watch.
But then again, I'm not familiar with the Albuquerque comedy scene that well. Like I said, it's all been just open mics. And then of course you have comedians that kind of reach out, because I do a podcast as well, and they come on the show and just do their thing. And it's really, they're good. They're good.
We should get some of those guys, some of those funny people.
Oh, I do a podcast called Tin Drink Minimum.
Oh yeah,
it's
from tendringminimum.com.
Yeah. We do every Sunday. It's live, so that's kind of hard. And you see me. And that's another thing that's hard, like having a live show of just like, a camera on you and just like having, like, because like I said, I don't like looking at myself. And so you always have that monitor there, and it's like, oh gosh. The thing is, I've also been balding as rapidly in my 30s, and it's not aesthetically pleasing. But anyway, it's fun.
You could wear a hat, maybe.
Or if you're wearing clown makeup, I mean, there's always alternatives. No, you know what? Be the luchador. Be the luchador podcaster.
Yeah.
No one will. In fact, it'll probably get you more fans than anything.
But it's fun. I've been doing podcasting for like 5 years. That's a reason I think that if somebody tells me I'm funny, or like compliments and like what I've been talking about on the podcast, that's given me the more motivation to do the whole stand-up thing. And so it's a comedy podcast, so you kind of have to make jokes. Kind of have
Jokes.
Oh, we got jokes.
Jokes and jokes.
But it's hard in a way because we do a show every Wednesday at Distillery 365 called Cards Against Humanity, or 10 Drink Against Humanity, where we're forced to like think of like funny like rebuttals to whatever like the card is reading, and it's weird. It's a little bit harder for me because
It's fun. That's on.
That sounds like good times.
That's Wednesday nights. That's Wednesday nights at
Distillery 365 over on Stanford and Candelaria. But it's fun. I like it. You kind of they comp us for drinks, and I think that's really the only time I can actually like not be nervous in front of people and trying to be funny is when I've been had a few.
It helps.
And it's like you're part of a conversation in that context.
Oh god, yeah. I always like to think like I'm just the most hilarious person after I've had like 3 of those like ones.
I've thought a lot about doing stand-up. Like I'll come up with some like bit, and I'm like, that's funny. But then what would I keep talking about after I said that?
Right?
Like
That was it.
You gotta fill the rest of that time. It took me 3 years to come up with one thing that was legitimately
7
funny.
seconds.
Plus, it's like, if you're doing music, to some degree, you can have it prepared and know somewhat whether or not it sounds like shit or not.
Right.
You're not going to know until you do your joke in front of an audience whether it sucks or not, because that's the only way to know is doing it in front of people.
Right.
So there's a lot more on the line there. I'm not prepared for that kind of mental onslaught of failure.
Well, now you can go, you're signing up, and they're like, how long? And you're like, 7, and they're like, minutes, and you're like, seconds. You just go do your one joke, and then be like, thank you.
Maybe it's like losing your virginity, right? They should have just like 15-second open mics, because that's all you got in you when you first start out.
That's right.
And you work your way up. That's
Absolute painful, excruciating madness, yeah. No, I had like a 12-minute bit. I cut it down to like 7 minutes or something, and maybe got 5 minutes out when I did it.
Oh
And
man.
I was so... I don't remember any of it. I just remember like... Blah, 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 blah. Okay.
Thank you, even a good crowd.
Yeah. Good night, I'm gonna go cry.
I think, I don't know, I follow a lot of comedians. Oh, when I say comedians, I follow people like on Vine. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it or like...
yeah.
But there are
Short movies, 7-second loops.
Little 7-second loops, and there are some hilarious like Vine personalities out there. And the crazy thing is, like, I would say a third of them have music ventures too. So I would really hate to be like say really good at comedy and then like not have my music shit anymore.
Right.
Yeah, no, I've thought of that too, because they especially trying to be like, I'm a rapper, yo.
Uh-huh.
And like, how serious can I be when I'm making all these dick jokes on podcasts and shit?
There's like a couple of rappers that do the Vine thing, and they're hilarious. And I've never listened to their music before, but they, of course, they like, listen, I'm on iTunes this week. It's like, I'm not going to do that. So.
Hey man, I got some mixtapes in my trunk. Man, having a dog sometimes, it's one of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I was going to have a really good story just by bringing up that topic, but it was a lie. It was a lie. So instead we're going to play the next song. This one is by our guest Billy Bellmont tonight. It's called Pleased to Meet You. Let's try it.
Pleased to meet you by Billy Bellmont. All up in your ear, pussy, on The Problem with Everything.
Float when the weather came to part. There's the clouds that cut the shadow brown. Way too high, the boat can't reach you. But constant up until the world is small, till the voices are not heard at all. Above it all, the wings are see-through. Can't see you. The shade fade on the concrete pane. Let's cover the earth wide. It's hot despite the burned as it hurt. Wings will cover both the eyes. All the wax will be gone in a moment. Put your body close to mine. Turn your back to the burn 'cause it hurts. Tried and failed to achieve the call. And all these seconds the ground will meet you. Did I expect when the wind was strong and the could made the air sounding fun that I am more than just a man? And I'm pleased to meet you. Soil sinks as my love sinks. Let's cover the earth red. It's hard despite the sandy quiet. Let's cover the earth red. It's hard despite the sandy quiet. Put your body close to mine. Turn your back to the dirt it will hurt. Wings will cover both our spines. All the pain will be gone anymore. Put your body close to mine. Turn your eyes to the sky and close. Put your body close to mine. Turn your eyes to the sky and close.
And then again, like if you were to listen to my, especially music I've written, gosh, in the last like 5 or 6 years, they've been generally very sad songs, but they have that kind of like weird spectrum of like, oh yeah, Billy the Deep, singer songwriter, then have him go up talking about like,
Right. Yeah.
I'm trying to think, jokes. I don't know.
There was a
dicks.
Yeah, no, snorting cocaine off a clown dick or something like that.
Yeah. So
That's like past week. That was that.
I think it undermines the other, and vice versa. It's
Right.
It's gonna be hard to. I don't actually know of any comedian.
Bob Saget. Bob Saget did Full House. Everybody and the other one was with the videos, funny song videos.
Yeah.
Seemed like the squeakiest clean guy, and then was like the filthiest comedian.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only
Living Two
one I can
Lives.
think of that would kind of have that.
Well,
And-
Tim Allen was like that too,
Was
in
he?
that respect. Yeah. In some way, Eddie Murphy is that. He doing kids' movies. Ice Cube is that. Ice-T is that. There's lots of them. There's lots of people
Talking about
that...
killing cops and then being a cop.
Yeah. Oh, it's the
I would
worst.
say the best example for somebody like making it in two different medias is what's that guy's name? Jared Leto, who's like an great.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
And then he does the music thing, and he's
Yeah.
good at. And he's
His band's
successful
not bad.
at both of them.
Yeah.
And so, like, God damn it, it wasn't enough that you're like,
Right.
and
A beautiful actor,
beautiful
man.
actor, and then now you have to be a fucking badass at fucking guitar and
Being a
have
rock
have
star.
a cool band.
Yeah, I got into his band. I didn't so much like after their second album. I wasn't too big of a fan, but I got into the band, and I didn't even know that he was that guy because I was also a big fan of Requiem for a Dream,
Yeah.
and I had no idea that that was the same guy. It blew my mind when I found out.
So yeah, and in the same breath, like having a comedian who was also like a musician, I don't think there's that person.
Comedy
Steve Martin?
is
Maybe. Ish.
I guess he's respected in both what he does. Like he's
Yeah.
he's imagine like one of the better banjo players out there.
Yeah, but he kind of went from comedy to that. He doesn't do both at once because that was after he had pretty much stopped doing comedy, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So he took up the music. I think it's harder if you're trying to be serious about something because Jared Leto can like sing about space and saving the world and whatever, and then also make movies, but that's not the same as if you're like we're saying making dick jokes. And then trying to come out with like rap songs pondering the meaning of life. Like you can't.
You know what? I
can't spin that.
He's fine running president. Running for president. That'd be cool.
I don't know.
So I would say that there is zero people who do try to do serious comedy and serious music and do well at both.
Right.
Or are successful at both. I don't think there is one. So
it's because persona is such a big part of it.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
like you were talking about when you're like 17, 18, you're trying to pick out like your genre of person to be. Like, what kind of person will get the most chicks? Like, what's the best strategy? And, you can't, like, something that depends on the persona. You can't be two things at once.
Didn't I see you in a hemorrhoids commercial?
And it doesn't count if you're, like, one of those musicians who do comedy while playing music. That doesn't count.
Right, that's not,
Like Tenacious D.
That doesn't count for much, usually, anyway. Tenacious D is good.
They're like the exception.
There's a handful of good ones here and there. What's that guy that sings about his friend that was retarded and then hit him with the rock and now he's retarded too? I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
But that guy's pretty good. Not good enough for me to remember his name. But
enough for you to mention he exists.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It can't all be Al Yankovic, you know?
I know, right? Well, what do you got coming up? You got your weekly distillery gig with a 10-drink minimum.
Yeah, so Distillery 365 come out. I try to be witty. I'd say it's the most comedic venture I've taken is trying to do this and not fuck it up and not make people leave. I do a podcast every Sunday too, like live, 10drinkminimum.com. We just moved over to the YouTube channel because we were on Twitch before. That's good. But anyway, I have a show. Music Around's doing this new thing where they take like a Saturday afternoon and have like local people play like a set. And the cool thing is you play for like store credit.
That's amazing.
I
Holy
love it.
shit.
And it's awesome because you get paid more in credit than you would say if you pay out in cash.
That's also, it's like giving a hobo like a Tupperware or a styrofoam leftover thing rather than cash, because that way you have to spend it at the store. You can't just go buy booze and drugs with it, right?
Yeah.
It's like the responsible payment plan.
That's true. And I have one of those, and that afternoon, 12 to 2, and I just got asked to play a show just right when I was getting driven over here to play the Warehouse 508 that same night.
Bitchin'.
I have never been there before. I've heard it's
pretty cool.
It's a cool little spot.
Yeah. And that's in Albuquerque, yeah?
Yeah, downtown, like First and
Street,
Lomas.
Okay, like by the Ice House.
Yeah, so I think it was what the Ice House was.
Oh, shit.
I think you can still see the ghosts of strippers.
So a show there that night. So I play a show from 12 to 2, and then I have a show that night from 8 to 9. And other than that, gosh,
just living the dream.
Just living the dream.
Yeah.
And I think the pot or the 10-drink thing takes up a lot of my time because we do like 3 times a year we do a live show from wherever like cool spot we think is, because we did one from the opening of the new sanitary tortilla factory.
Yeah.
Well, it opened up now. It's a cool art space for people to have it's copies of where they do their art and wares, whatever. And so they opened up, and there's a big back room. So we did a live show from there, and then we're doing a live show from a place called Rocha Riches, in Graven, New Mexico, where we do the podcast. It's a music festival. We enjoy doing it.
Radical.
Bitchin'.
Well, you've heard him. You've heard him here on The Problem with Everything. The man, the myth, the miracle-making, magnanimous gentleman. I know, right? It was almost there.
Should have just dropped the gentle. Magnanimous man.
Magnanimous man.
Man of men.
He wears tights, flies around. Magnanimous man.
Yeah.
What does he do? He just declares things in public.
But I like to play, I guess,
Anyway.
my bands like Bellmont and Hounslow. Like Hounslow is kind of taking a small hiatus because we took our bass player left, and so it's been like 4 months since we've had a show, and I really want to get back into that band, playing riffs and like banging.
Oh yeah.
But no,
Hell yeah.
Bellmont lost their drummer. Nolan Ramirez, who was also in the Rage, and like a lot of local bands. He moved to Denver, and so we just don't want to get a new drummer. We just kind of we have to, but we don't want to.
Yeah.
And so
You find someone whose groove really works really well.
right.
Make like Billy Corgan and get yourself a drum machine.
That's true. I didn't think of that.
Might as well.
But I don't know. I've been really enjoying like kind of my singer-songwriter like solo shows. Like I did one at Tractor a few weeks ago. I think I'm having one. Oh, I have a show on April 14th at Marble Brewery with a band I'm playing bass for called the Pee-wees. And
Rad.
Yeah.
The
So
Pee-wees.
Yeah, it's like weird, like dreamy, like horror country. It's weird. I like it. I like playing, just the Americana-ish.
Yeah.
It's neat.
It's fun. And that's fun place to go.
It's like the kind of country songs where a guy talks over it.
You know what I don't like about playing Marble now is there is a limit. Because before, like, when Marble first started having like musical acts, not to talk shit about Marble, like,
right?
I never would.
But you have totally, I guess, not totally ruined. I would say that what I don't like now is now that you get like a 2-drink limit.
Instead of just a tab.
Instead of just not even a tab, just like here, sir, you're in the band. And like back in the day when they first started having bands play, they're like I would just have my friends like I'm on stage, like he would go up to the bar,
point at you, be like, that one,
yeah, so,
right there.
So he needs 2 beers, and they would just give it to him, like no questions asked, not even like okay, so put you down on tap, or like, is there drink tickets available? Like, no, it's like, just take them.
Sounds like some asshole came along and ruined it for all of us or something.
Right.
I want to say like somebody got really hammered, and I would get pretty tipsy at those shows, and those were so fun.
Someone's like, no, he's not hammered on alcohol. He smokes some crack. He's fine. Don't worry.
Oh, man, but it was just like carte blanche for like all the beer when
that is nice. When things start out, it's usually like that. Like they're just like, here, take them by the handfuls. Here's your drinks, and you're like, this is when being a musician pays off.
It's so fun. But like other clubs downtown, kind of like wised up, I guess, in the last whatever. But you normally get a 2-drink. 2-drink tickets.
Right, that's the typical thing.
It's very standard, but like breweries, they don't give a shit. Well, at least they now they do, but before they're like, hell, just drink more.
Right. True story. Well, shoot, man. Thanks for being on. Thanks for talking shop history and securities.
Thanks for coming on that. I had a really good time.
Confidences, confidentialities.
Yeah, all that
Just
shit.
making up words now. We're going to get in a Squirmish later.
A Squirmish?
Yeah, that's a Sarah Palin. She's in Squirmish. Go over there to the Middle East with their Squirmishes. Or something like that. Her weird soccer mom from hell persona that she does. But like the smiley, happy soccer mom from hell.
Oh, thanks for the bourbon, too. That was delicious.
It is. It's 4 Roses, 4-barrel.
Today's podcast is brought to you by 4 Roses, 4-barrel small batch.
Bourbon. It's delicious, spicy. Goes down nice and smooth.
Bourbon whiskey.
We need a freaking Ron Burgundy type to say that one. Well, cool. I've been Holiday Rob.
Lowki Sapfoot.
And
Billy Bellmont.
Thank you for listening. Peace out. We'll see you next week. We're going to have some more people on. Yeah, son.
Go fuck yourself. Peace. All right, you fucking maggots. It's been a podcast.
Wasn't that fun? That was so fun. Those guys are hilarious. All 3 of them.
Would you just refer to us in the third person?
I referred like, this is the end of the podcast.
I'm confused. I'm too tired for this shit.
I can't do this. I can't do this out of time.
What do we?
We're gonna do a song to Send us on our way.
Yeah.
Send us on our way. Okay, you want to hear something? We listened, we bought a record recently. It was by Toto.
Mhm.
Toto, the guys did Africa.
Africa. Yeah.
So we got the, I'm guessing it's like the follow-up album or whatever. It is fucking 80s AIDS. It is horrendous. I tried to, by the third song, it didn't hurt as much, so I tried to actually listen to it, and then it just never failed to disappoint me.
Dude, you gotta stop saying this stuff. We're never gonna land Toto as podcast guests.
You know, that's probably...
If you keep disparaging their art.
That's probably fine. They look like child molesters anyway.
They may well be. In any case, we're gonna play a song by Bellmont, and it's called Salt Spreader, and it's the last thing you're gonna hear. Well, not ever. Unless you happen to die while this is playing.
Which would be unfortunate.
Yeah, I hope you don't die. Don't die. Come listen to us next week.
Yes, we'll have more fun guests, more fun times, and more fun illnesses to speak of.
All right. Have a good week.
Later.
Sent you on a whim to my arms. Simple as a mean pause when it comes to you and me. Songbird, run and hide and be one salt spreader of mine. Mixture of blood. Wouldn't you say the quotes that sent you on a whim to my arms? Simple as a mean pause when it comes to you.